Howdy folks. Right now we're going to talk about Deacon Parsons' patented sure enough gonna work or double your money back crayon theory. Now one of the strangest ideas that's come up in about the last 100 years is the notion that men and women are exactly the same. Now outside of being built completely different and thinking completely different and acting completely different, yeah, they're the same. Now, I'm not talking about same pay for the same work. You know, heifer or steer, hamburger's hamburger. But there is a difference between bull and cows, and if you don't mind that difference, you're going to get yourself stomped. Now, I've been married about 30 years. Now, 3 different women, but if time served counts for prisoners, it counts for husbands. About last 10 years with Princess Full Moon Running Bear there. Been nice. Incidentally, she earned her Indian name in that rather embarrassing skinny dipping incident the same evening that her daddy proposed for me. Anyway, back to the difference between men and women. I've tried to come up with a way to explain it to folks, and the best thing I've come up with to explain it with is crayon boxes. Now just imagine that emotions were crayons. Now when women are born, they're given the big Crayola 96 pack, row after row, shade after shade of colors. Women have blue-green, they have green-blue, they know the difference, and they care. Now when us men are born, we're issued the Crayola Kindergarten 8-pack. 8 big, fat, double-sized colors. Red is red, green is green, blue is blue. We can color, we don't have to stay in the lines, and we might eat 1 or 2 of them and still get along. Now, part of the difference in these crayon boxes is the way folks go about things. Now, if you ask a woman to give you the name of her best friend, she's going to start naming off a whole bunch of people. Now, it doesn't matter to her that the word best is singular. It means one. You ask a guy for his best friend, he's going to give you one name because you said best, best means one. Women know that best is supposed to mean just one. They just don't care, and they get away with it. They'll give you your best shopping friend, your best going out having a Coke friend, your best, broken heart girlfriend. Now, if gal hasn't heard from her friend in a while, she'll get upset. She'll wonder, is Sally mad at me? Did I say something wrong? Did she say something wrong? What's going on? I wonder what's wrong. A guy can be a friend and not talk to another friend for 10 years. Calls him up, hi, how you doing? What you driving? You still with her? Yeah, what are you doing for work? Yeah, I'm doing working there. Fine. We're caught up. We're good. It's fine. Women have a passel of relationships, and they're all tangled like a spider web. Men relate to other men in one of 4 different ways. There's men that we could care less about, and that's pretty much most of the population of the world. There are those men that we would kill at the first reasonably legal opportunity. There's those guys that we would help move, and then there's those guys that we'd go help move the bodies. That's it. One of 4 ways. Now, when men and women try to talk to each other, you got to translate between these crayon boxes. Okay, bunch of women sitting around. One of them pulls out their chartreuse crayon and she goes, chartreuse. And all the other girls pull out their chartreuse crayon. They all go, chartreuse. And they have a beautiful little chartreuse bonding moment. And she says, that was great. I want to do that with my fella. She goes home and she pulls out her chartreuse crayon, and he's excited because he thinks he knows the answer to this question. And he opens his crayon box, he pulls out and he goes, green? And she goes, no, chartreuse. And he looks at his body, he says, green? And she goes, no, it's chartreuse. And he goes, it's frickin' green. And pretty soon the fight's on, and nobody knows why. Because you see, what she thinks she's saying is not what he's hearing. And what he thinks he's saying is not what she's hearing. So you got to be able to translate between the boxes. Now, from a man's point of view, women are incredibly complex. From a woman's point of view, men are incredibly simplistic. Truth is, they're both right. Now, when you got to make a decision, you got to get all your crayons in a row. Now, for a guy, that's easy. You throw them in, you cram the lid on, you're good to go. For a gal, that takes a little time. You got to get all them colors in a row and sorted and everything. Which means that in general, when a gal makes a decision, it's going to be a well thought out, well-rounded decision. 3 days too late. If you want to get along with folks, you got to translate between their box of crayons. Along with the crayon theory, just an extra bonus that I'm going to throw in, is the toothpaste and toilet paper theory of wedded bliss. When two folks get married and they move in together, first they decide, oh, this is going to last, it's going to be great, and I'm going to get along with people, and I'm not going to talk about the small stuff, because we'll just let the small stuff slide. And what normally happens is the small stuff builds up, and it builds up, and pretty soon there's a fight, and in the middle of this fight about something big, you say, and you squeeze the toothpaste tube wrong as well. And the other one goes, where'd that come from? And it comes from the fact that you're not talking, you're not building up your communication skills. And when you first get together, do the small things. Talk about the small things, like toilet paper. Now, in some families, toilet paper has to go over the top. Some families, toilet paper must go under the bottom. Some families, like mine, as long as it's there, I could care less. But when you get together, you get moved in with your sweetie, and you start working this out. Now, if she comes from a family that it's important that comes over the top, and you come from a family that doesn't matter, well, put it over the top. It's important to her, it's not important to you, let her have that one. Same way about squeezing the toothpaste tube. If everybody's fine just grabbing it and squeeze, go for it. If it's really important to one person to roll it up neatly, learn to do that. And what you'll find out is as you work things out on these small things, when something big comes along, you'll end up already having a plan of action on how to solve the problem. So between the toothpaste, the toilet paper, and the crayons, y'all can go out now and just have wonderful lives living happily ever after. Remember Deacon Parsons' creed. Love your maker, love your mate, and do what's right because it's right, and devil take the hindmost.